Hey guys, hey, so I am so glad to be able to be creating this look for you today. So let's get into everything that we're going to need to achieve this look. So these are all the supplies and everything that I use. They all will be in the link below. I also use my serger and my heavy duty sewing machine. Okay, I love this sewing machine, honey. So getting into the fabric and the pattern we are using today, I am using my Karen M pattern, and I'm going ahead and cutting the back of the dress first. Now that we have the back of the dress all cut out, I'm going to put it to the side and start working on the front part of the dress. What I love about this pattern is if you look at the neckline, it will tell you how far down to cut for the front of the dress and how much you need to go up for the back. So it's just one pattern, and I love that. So I'm just pinning it down here and preparing it for me to go ahead and cut it out. I do want to let you guys know when I am cutting the neckline for the front, I am going to go above the line for the neckline a little bit more than the pattern tells you to. And I do this because of sometimes if I cut where the neckline is at directly, it will start to stretch, and I do not like that stretch look. So I want to make sure that I'm preventing that. So I go up a little bit, and it usually works for me. You can also hem the neckline of your mesh, but I tend to not hem it because I think I get a clean cut each time. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting this out and move on to the next part. So now that I got my bodice mesh piece cut out, I'm going to go ahead and begin to trace my pattern on some extra craft paper that I had. I'm doing this because I wanted the side boob area and also kind of where that fading into the armpit, I wanted it to be the red fabric color, and I just wanted mesh in the middle. So what I'm doing is creating me kind of like a template in a guide so that I would know how much I need to cut of the red fabric and then add it to the bodice. You will be able to see what I'm doing here and kind of get a vision of what I was going for.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else will do like you do. That's why I spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world, don't you understand? Your love is a wine in a Turn me inside out, make my heart speak. Need no one else. You're all I need. Personality, everything you do. It's me, love. Everything about you. Your smile, your style, so fly. Can't deny. I got a crush on you. That's true. I'm digging you. You make me believe. Your love is more than a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling. Oh yeah.
Now that we're done with the bodice, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the skirt. I'm only going to cut starting at the line you see on the pattern that is only for the skirt. I am going to do the same thing I did with the bodice and also trace the skirt on some extra craft paper to get the desired look that I want for the skirt as well. I know that in the skirt I want to do some mesh too to have some see-through on the hip. So I'm going to go ahead and create that and kind of get the look I want, and then I'm going to use the craft paper to cut out my mesh as well.
They just wanna fuck with you. Just they know I fuck with you. If I put my trust in you, what will you do? Will you just step out? Will you duck it out? Will you be here to the end? I just wanna know if you my friend. I just wanna know if you pretending. I know I've been away. I'm just trying to get my mind straight. Don't give my shit away. I'm just trying to get my mind straight. I know I've been away. I'm just trying to get my mind straight. Don't give my shit away. I'm just trying to get my mind straight. Oh, I used to tell lies, but I would never lie to you. Sipping spray on my dime, looking all kinds of new. Do you know what I like? What would you like to do? Tell me, I'm telling you. I know I've been away. I'm just trying to get my mind straight, girl. Don't give my shit away. I'm just trying to get my mind straight. I know I've been away. I'm just trying to get my mind straight. Don't give my shit away. I'm just trying to get my mind straight.
So after I finished the skirt, I went ahead and attached it to the bodice. I made sure that everywhere that there was a seam, I top stitched on top of it to make sure that we had a clean look, and also that all of the seams were hitting and it was not poking through the mesh part. So I'm just playing with my applique to see how I want it to lay, just trying to get an idea of how it needs to go on the front and what would the desired look be for me, and that see what I kind of like. I went ahead and set my front piece to the side, and we're moving back to the back of the dress. I'm going to go ahead and apply the zipper to the back of the dress, because when you think of prom, you're thinking of girls are having their hair and makeup done. So you want to make it as easy as possible for them to get the dress on and off without messing up their hair or their makeup. So I'm just taking the front and the back, and I'm going to sew them together and go ahead and we will have the front of our dress and the back applied. I did not record this part, but I went ahead and added, I wanted it to be like a 2-part peplum train, if that makes sense. So it is 13 inches all around, and I'm just going to add this horsehair to it. But this is moving on to the larger part of the train. I'm going to go ahead and use my Karen M circle skirt pattern, and I'm using my measuring tape to measure out 50 inches all around to make sure that my whole skirt do come out to be 50 inches. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going to cut out. I'm going to do 2 of these pieces so that I can have a front and a back to it. And once I have the front and back, I'm just going to attach them together and sew them all up, and you will have your train. Alright guys, so I sewed up my train and this is the finished look. I am so happy with how this turned out. I did add my appliques, some extra beads, some feathers, and some hanging beads. And if you guys need a tutorial on how to do that, I would be more than happy to record a video for you guys. And make sure that you keep on watching and check out my Etsy store.